Good evening, viewers, wherever you are watching us from. My name is Najib Ahmed, and this is Dalsan TV, Somalia's top TV station. Let's take a look at some of the stories that we have lined up for you on this Saturday, 2nd of March 2024. President Hassan Mohamud met Turkish counterpart President Tayyip Erdogan, discussed economic and defense cooperation. Somalia rejects annexation attempt. Acting Foreign Minister asserts Somali army and international partners neutralized 23 Al-Shabaab militants in Central Somalia operation. 6.9 million Somalis in need of life-saving humanitarian assistance in 2024, according to World Food Programme. World Health Organization seeks more funds to curb cholera outbreak in Somalia. Welcome back. The main news. Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud held a meeting with Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan on Saturday. President Mohamud was attending the Antalya Diplomacy Forum, ADF, where he engaged a discussion with President Erdogan. The two leaders focused on topics such as economic cooperation and defense collaboration, aiming to strengthen the ties between their respective countries. This meeting follows the Defense and Economic Cooperation Framework Agreement signed earlier this year between Turkey and Somalia, demonstrating the commitment to enhancing bilateral relations. Our reporter has more on this.
Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud met with the President of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, in Antalya, Turkey, on Saturday, where President Mohamud attended the Antalya Diplomacy Forum, ADF. President Mohamud and his counterpart discussed topics including economic and defense cooperation. On February 8, Turkish Defense Minister Yasa Gula and his Somali counterpart Abdelkader Mohamed Na signed a defense and economic cooperation framework agreement, which the two presidents approved. Mr. Mohamud stated that the 10 years pact supports development of the blue economy, fish production, economic infrastructure construction, marine resource protections, and prevention of all illegal activities along Somalia's coastline. Heads of state and government, dozens of foreign ministers, academics, and think tanks from across the world attended the annual diplomacy forum, which focused on the role of diplomacy in the age of conflicts. Heads of state and government, dozens of foreign ministers, academics, and think tanks from across the world attended the annual diplomacy forum, which focused on the role of diplomacy in the age of conflicts.
The acting Foreign Affairs Minister strongly reaffirmed the country's stance against any attempt to annex part of its territory. The statement was made in response to a recent sea access deal between Ethiopia and the breakaway region of Somaliland. The agreement, which grants Ethiopia the right to construct a port in Somaliland in exchange for recognition, has strained relations between Somalia and Ethiopia. The acting minister emphasized Somalia's unwavering position, emphasizing that the country will not accept any actions that threaten territorial integrity. Ever since Ethiopia struck the deal with Somaliland on January 1st, ties between the two neighboring countries have worsened. The agreement is said to give Ethiopia the right to build a port in Somaliland in exchange for recognition. Ali Omar Balad, in an interview on the sidelines of the Antalya Diplomacy Forum on Friday, said they expected building better relations with Ethiopia after years of disputes, but the agreement dashed all hopes. Instead, he said Ankara would make a good mediator between the two countries, saying it has good relations with Addis Ababa. On lifting arms embargo on Somalia in December, Bal Ali said the UN Security Council decision has positively impacted the country's fight against the terror group Al-Shabaab. The embargo was first placed on the East African country in 1992. Meanwhile, World Health Organization called for more funds to scale up response activities to contain a cholera outbreak in Somalia, as the number continues to rise. The current cholera outbreak in Somalia is a continuation of the outbreak from last year that spread to new districts affected by floods in October 2023. World Health Organization officials said a total of 2,943 were affected.
The World Health Organization (WHO) has called for more funds to scale up response activities to contain cholera outbreak in Somalia as the number of cases continues to rise. The current cholera outbreak in Somalia is a continuation of the outbreak last year that spread to new districts affected by floods in October 2023, according to the WHO. A total of 2,943 new cholera cases and 26 deaths have been reported in Somalia since January 2024, according to the Somali Health Ministry. WHO said limited access to safe and water, proper and sanitization among displaced persons living mainly on the banks of River Shabelle is the major driver of the current cholera outbreak. It also said that a new cholera outbreak was confirmed in Hargeisa and Galible districts of Somaliland as a spillover from the cholera outbreak in the neighboring Ethiopia. The WHO said that together with health partners, it has scaled up the implementation of cholera response activities in districts affected by floods since October 2023. Somalia has had an interrupted transmission of acute water diarrhea and cholera since 2022 and in the Banadi region since the drought of 2017. According to the United Nations Children's Fund, or UNICEF, the cholera outlook in 2024 remains dire, with many countries in Eastern and Southern Africa already experiencing heavy rainfall and El Nino effects triggering spikes in some countries.
In a planned operation conducted on Friday, the Somali army, supported by international partners, eliminated at least 23 Al-Shabaab militants in central Somalia. The joint forces targeted strategic areas including Aliyabal Kalankal, located in the Elderi district of the Galgaduud region. Our reporter has more on this.
In a planned operation conducted on Friday, the Somali army, supported by international partners, successfully eliminated at least 23 Al-Shabaab militants in central Somalia. The joint force targeted strategic areas including Aliyabal, Kalankal, and Somadale, located in the El Lerer district of Galgaduud region. The operation aimed at countering the presence of militants who had gathered in these areas, posing a threat to the security and stability of the region. As a result of the operation, 23 militants were neutralized and additional 20 sustained injuries, severely crippling the capabilities of the Al-Shabaab group in the targeted region. Al-Shabaab militant group has been a persistent threat to the Somalis' ability for more than a decade. Al-Shabaab militant group has been a persistent threat to the Somalis' stability for more than a decade. The efforts of the Somali army, backed by international partners, to counter Al-Shabaab have yielded significant results through that targeted operations, intelligence gathering, and enhanced cooperation. The joint force has been able to disrupt the group's activities and weaken its capabilities. This has included liberating territories previously under the control of Al-Shabaab and diminishing their capacity to carry out large-scale attacks.
The World Food Programme announced on Friday that approximately 6.9 million Somali people require life-saving humanitarian and protection assistance in 2024. El Nino-induced floods experienced since October 2023, along with the lingering effects of drought, protracted conflict, and high food prices, have exacerbated acute food insecurity in Somalia.
About 6.9 Somali people are expected to require life-saving humanitarian and protection assistance in 2024, the World Food Programme has said. El Nino-induced floods experienced from October 2023, combined with the after-effects of a drought, protracted conflict, and high food prices, continue to fuel acute food insecurity in Somalia. The WFP has said. The UN Food Agency said it requires $342.2 million in net funding across all activities for the next 6 months to scale up humanitarian response in Somalia. The October-December 2023 deadly rains, which caused devastating floods, experienced an early end, but the flood impacts were substantial with 2.4 million people affected, 1 million displaced and complete crop failure along the Juba and Shabelle rivers according to the WFP.
That's all I had for you today. Until the next bulletin, have a lovely evening.